And as you see there, Steph struggles, so do the Warriors. When he does, they do. So, Jason, do you trust Kyrie more tonight or Steph more tonight?
This goes back to church league versus out in the park. A lot of wind when you play outside, and the guy that can get to the rim and finish makes more buckets. Kyrie Irving, if his outside shot's not working, he's going to go to the hole and finish at the rim. You got to, in these elimination games, look at the numbers for Kyrie Irving. And again, I love Steph Curry, but those elimination numbers speak for themselves. 4-0, 32 points a game, 53% shooting from 2, 55% from 3. I trust Kyrie more.
But Steve Kerr has said he'd like to free Steph up tonight.
Yeah.
That's one of the game plans that's kind of, if not leaked out, has been kind of one of the messages. And I think they'll design things for him. Listen, what's remarkable about Steph is, as great as he is, he's been two different players in the series. And I agree that Kyrie can do both, finish at the rim. I just feel like this is a team that's lost once at home since April. And before that, lost once since March when all four guys played. I just think Cleveland's last win was an aberration. They'll never shoot like that again. We've never seen any team shoot like that. I think it was an exception to the rule.
Could have won game 3.
But and they have a they have a game plan that can stop or slow down Steph Curry. And we saw in game 3, they doubled him and dared Draymond to shoot and beat it. Just like they did last year, they dared Harrison Barnes to beat you, and he couldn't. I think, not that I don't trust Steph, but I think Kyrie is more likely to have a bigger game because he has to. Like, Cleveland cannot hope to win if he isn't phenomenal. Golden State can win if Durant could be big, Klay could be big, Draymond could be big, and Steph could be okay, and they can win. Kyrie can't be okay, so I think he's going to come up bigger.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kyrie has to have at least 25 or more, at least 25 or more. I mean, maybe even 30 for the Cavs to even have an opportunity to win this game. And to your point, in game 3, they came out and they trapped Steph, kind of disrupted his rhythm early in the game. And then when KD and Klay went to the bench in that second quarter, I don't know why they pulled the trap off, but that's right when Steph got going. He got comfortable. And Kyrie's going to dominate the ball more than Steph is. The way the Golden State plays, they move that basketball, they move their bodies. Cleveland is two guys that's pretty much dominating the basketball, dribbling the air out of it, and making all the plays for I won't say dribbling the air, but making all the plays for everybody. So Kyrie is a guy that I'm expecting to have a much better night, and I trust to have a better night.
Golden State's a system. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
I mean,
no question.
Cleveland's really an ISO act. So, I mean, if you're talking stats, Kyrie's almost guaranteed to literally, he's going to have the ball more. And whereas I find one of the things remarkable about Golden State is I could see 8 different guys leading the break. I mean, if you go back to game 1, I mean, Durant was dominant. I would argue for a big part of this series, Steph has not been a factor. That's not that he's bad.
His numbers,
first 2 games.
First 3 games, his numbers are great.
Listen,
he's averaging almost a triple-double in the first.
No,
three
I'm not
games.
saying that, but he doesn't feel as influential. Durant in the first 2 games felt like he carried the series. LeBron felt like he carried. Kyrie felt like he carried game 4.
Listen, I take nothing away from Steph's 2 MVPs. To me, he deserved them. But Kyrie Irving's a better player. I'm just sorry. He's a better player.
He's a better one-on-one player.
I think he's a better finisher around the basket,
Yes,
but not by much. Steph is a great finisher, and he has a better handle, but Steph's handle is impeccable.
Second best, probably, in the
So, I
league.
mean, he has just a slight edge, I think, if you talk about them matched up head to head. But I think that's part of the reason why you see Coach Kerr is not putting him on him, not allowing Steph to guard Kyrie, because he knows that can hurt Steph's psyche. Steph cannot guard Kyrie, and there's not too many guys out there that can, but Steph definitely is one of those guys that can't. And it takes away from his offensive firepower on the other end, because it kind of disrupts his rhythm, number one, because he has to worry about stopping this guy. And then when you get drained, then you come down and you miss a shot, then it just starts snowballing effect and piling on. And I think that's the big problem, and that's why I always will ride with Kyrie, because of those reasons, that he has the ball and he has supreme confidence. I mean, never way. Even he was 0 for 7 in game 3, and he was 0 for 6 and took that last crazy 3-point shot, and they couldn't stop him getting to the basket. So I'm riding with Kyrie.
I would rather have Steph on my team, just because I think his jump shooting, he's easier to play in the system. You hit it on the head. We see a system versus 2 guys creating everything.
Do you honestly believe, though, Kyrie couldn't play and perform at a high level in that system?
he'd
with
be
all that
a much
space.
different player because he wouldn't be dominating the ball like that.
Yes, fair question.
And he could be good because he's a good shooter himself.
It's a fair question because I don't think Westbrook could. And I think Kyrie could. But as of tonight, we have a system and ISO acts.
But in that system, I'm just saying, Kyrie would get to the hole so much easier, get to the rim so much easier. I love Kyrie in this series and just overall, he keeps ascending.